today, well, there's something I would like to share. I will call it an idea. You can also call it a concept because I believe it as a concept. The perspective I'd like to share with you is something that is prevailing today. What is prevailing today? Before I talk about today, I would like to actually talk about yesterday. This is with regards to wellness. What is the concept of wellness? What is the idea behind wellness? Is it required? Is it necessary? Or is it something that doesn't really deem your time, which is not a priority? Or should it be a priority? Now, I did say yesterday. What do I mean by yesterday? Well, in my parents' time, or during my parents' time, the previous generation, if I could specify, I would say the baby boomers. The baby boomers who were born from the 1940s onwards. To be specific, that is 1946 onwards. Well, what were the challenges that this generation faced with regards to health? And what were the prevailing diseases at that time? That was a major challenge. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people today in the current generation would not have heard of some of these diseases that I'm going to mention right now. Let me start off with one of the deadliest that caused not only mass death all over the world. It also caused a lot of migration, the kind of which is actually happening now in Europe, but not for the same reasons. So what caused that was smallpox. What caused those problems was plague. So now, do we have those prevailing conditions today? I'm going to give you a few more examples. Cholera, leprosy. See, many of these now don't exist at all today. What could be the reason? The reason is the medical industry. The medical industry, and I'm talking specifically about doctors. The doctors have done, in my view, they have done a miraculous job. They did a wonderful job of not only controlling, they actually found a cure. They found a cure to the extent that today it doesn't exist. We don't have these, even in countries, so-called third world countries. Let's take our own country, India. Today we don't have these diseases prevalent. Even for something like polio, we have a solution. We have a cure. But from now, I would like to come from that period. I'd like to move on. Move on where? To today. Today, this is 2015. We are in the 20th century. What are the challenges that the entire world, not as a family or a society, a city or a country, the entire world, what are we facing? Today, we are facing something called as lifestyle diseases. To be put in, if I could put it in a very simple term, very simple manner, lifestyle diseases. Technically, we call this as degenerative, lifestyle degenerative diseases. Now, what are degenerative diseases? And I would like to give you a very brief comparison between the former, which I mentioned, and the current ones. The former were classified and specified as contagious diseases, or as medically known as communicable diseases. Why would I say that? It was contagious because it was passed from person to person, either by medium of air or water or just close proximity. Now today we don't have that. If I could give you probably one of the real examples I could share is HIV positive people. HIV is, yes, it is a lifestyle disease, and a person suffering from HIV is at high risk of developing AIDS. What is AIDS? Acquired immune deficiency syndrome. Now, but if I not only if I communicate, or if I sit, or if I'm in close proximity to that person, do I get the disease? No, I'm not afflicted. I'm not afflicted with that disease. So therefore, it is something called as non-contagious, or the right term is non-communicable. So today, or rather my message here today is the approach, or was the approach that was effective for communicable diseases or contagious diseases, does it work for this set of diseases, lifestyle diseases? Lifestyle diseases today, what we see the most prevalent beginning with obesity. Then you have diabetes. You also have something called as diabesity, a combination of both. You also have cardiovascular issues. You have also arthritis, cancer, and these are termed as lifestyle diseases or degenerative non-communicable diseases. My mission, or rather my message, is how do we approach it, and is the current approach by whichever industry, by the medical industry, by the hospitals, or by even specific individuals, is their approach working? And if it is working, how is it working? And if it isn't working, what are the steps that need to be taken to address this particular set of diseases and this particular challenge that is increasing day by day all around the world? In fact, the economies of modern countries are in debt, are in huge debt. I can tell you trillions of dollars because of this health factor, that people are suffering from diseases which I would say the biggest tragedy is that the majority of these diseases are mostly preventable. So the concept, the idea that we could share, that we could talk about is how do we go about effectively preventing these diseases? Because like it is always said, the oft used cliche that we use, and let me end with this: prevention is better than and will always be better than cure. Thank you.